Welcome back to FM Story. In the last episode, we began season 2 of this beat to save Manchester United, and things didn't go very well. We spent an awful lot of money, but somehow we may have made the team worse, and some of the players have decided we shouldn't be managing the club. So, it seems like it may only be a matter of time before we get sacked, but in trying to prevent that, we've got some big games coming up in the league against Liverpool, Newcastle and Tottenham, and we've also got Benfica and Bayern Munich in the Champions League. So without further ado, let's get into the action. So we're starting with the game against Liverpool. We have played one game since the last episode, which was the second game in the Champions League phase. We did come away with a 3-1 victory. We were pretty good in the first half. We threatened a lot, forced a lot of corners. We eventually took the lead with a Højlund header. Then they equalised just after half time. And given how the season's gone so far, we were fearing the worst there slightly. But we went on and got 2 goals in 5 minutes with Shaw and Fernandes just to put us 3-1 up and secure the win. Leaves us on 4 points after 2 games in the Champions League phase, which I think is probably a decent position to be in, given those next 2 games in the Champions League phase we've got coming up against Maribor and Ludogorets. And this is the side we've picked to go to Anfield in the league. Obviously, we've had some up and down performances this season. Somehow we've beaten Man City 1-0. We also managed to go from being 3-1 up against Arsenal to losing 8-3. So who knows what this game is going to provide. We have gone back to the 4-2-3-1 that we used at the start of last season with the 2 ball-winning midfielders. And hopefully that makes us a bit more secure than we have been the rest of the season. Right, they've got a free kick on the edge of the box. Callister's going to take it. And Onana must have got his fingertips to that. Robertson to take a corner from the right hand side for them. And Scalvini got his head to it, but it goes behind for another corner. They're applying some early pressure here. Bosley from the other side. And this time Onana keeps the header out and we managed to scramble it clear. We haven't exactly started very well. We've had more of the ball, but we've obviously just not done anything with it. Right, free kick, Mo Salah, looking for Virgil van Dijk. We were on the verge of a successful first half without conceding a goal. And then we have that. Just heads it across goal, in off the post. 1-0 down at half time. I mean, on the run of play, from what we've seen, they probably deserve that. But we just need to be a lot better in the second half. We need to create something. I mean, we've not had a single shot yet. Right, we've sent the same team out to change to start the second half. We do obviously have the options to change it come the hour mark if nothing really has happened. Right, we're trying to go a bit more positive. We've changed some of the personnel. They've got a corner though. Oh, and they fit the woodwork. And we've managed to scramble it clear. Julian Alvarez, back to Dalot, Alvarez again. Right, Wan-Bissaka down the right hand side. We get a cross in. Get it in the box. Garnacho. Mount. Oh, we've hit the woodwork. And now they're breaking. Salah. Oh, Dalot wins it back and then loses out immediately to Thiago. As João Neves nicks it off Trent. 7 minutes of injury time. Can we conjure something in this? We've been much better in the second half without getting a goal. I mean, we were pretty bad in that first half. We were better in the second half. But I think we're going to have to change things up massively if we're going to improve our form here. We've made it towards the end of November and we've got a big game coming up in the Champions League against Bayern Munich. By and large, since the loss to Liverpool, things have gone okay. We are still down in mid-table, but when you look at, we've got 22 points from 13 games. We're level on points with Man City. Obviously, we've got a much worse goal difference, largely because of that Arsenal game. But we're within striking reach of pretty much everyone else in the top half there. The first game after the Liverpool loss, we were at home to Nottingham Forest. We weren't great in the first half. We were a lot better in the second half. Bruno Fernandes popping up with 2 goals to get us the win. We then went away to Maribor in the Champions League and blew them out of the water in the first half. We were 6-1 up at half time, ended up 7-1. Rasmus Højlund picking up a hat-trick. We then went to Aston Villa and got off to a great start. And then it looked like it was going to be another Arsenal. Because within 5 or 6 minutes of the second half, we were 3-1 down. We got back on track with an own goal. And then we got an equaliser from Marcus Rashford later on to secure a 3-3 draw. Then Newcastle. So Newcastle are top of the table. They were top of the table when we played them. We got an early goal from Mason Mount. They equalised, and then they went ahead, and then we equalised. And then just after the hour, Lisandro Martinez got sent off for a ridiculous lunge. Got an extra 2-game ban on top of it as well. But somehow, almost immediately after the sending off, we went 3-2 up. Then they equalised, and then Antonio Silva ended up picking up the winner late on. We brought him on instead of Marcus Rashford so we weren't struggling defensively, and ended up somehow picking up a win there. We then went to Ludogorets with a pretty rotated team and did not get a single highlight until injury time. And basically, somehow we didn't get beat because they had so many chances. We then went to Leeds just before the international break and put in... We then had Leeds just before the international break at home. Took the lead in injury time through Garnacho, and then Mason Mount secured the win late on. Really, it was a game we should have won a bit more comfortably. We had much more chances than they did. And then the most recent game, we went away to Tottenham after the international break. They were sitting second in the table. We got off to a horrible start with Richarlison scoring early on. And then we had chance after chance in the second half. And eventually we had to rely on Anthony Martial coming off the bench to poke one home in the last couple of minutes to get us an equaliser. So what it means as far as the league's concerned is, as we saw, we're sitting 10th. We've lost the same number of games as a lot of the teams. In fact, less than a lot of the teams above us. We've just drawn 4 games already this season. We have turned slightly a bit of a corner. We are performing a bit better. But we are struggling to put chances away in certain games. As far as the Champions League's concerned, we're currently sat in 14th in the league phase. We've played 4. We've got 8 points. If we can beat Bayern Munich, we'll go above them in the league phase. Obviously, it's going to be a tough ask. Rasmus Højlund has got 4, but he did get 3 of them against Maribor, who are rooted to the bottom of the table and haven't picked up a point yet. But hopefully we can go into this away game, put in a pretty decent performance and at least come away with a point. So this is the side we're going to the game against Bayern Munich with. We've made 2 changes to the team that started the last game. In fact, 3 changes. We brought Diego Dalot in for Wan-Bissaka. Lisandro Martinez has come back in to the centre of defence instead of Antonio Silva. And Rasmus Højlund have a knock in the top game, so he's not fully fit. So we've gone with Julian Alvarez through the middle. Obviously, look at that team. They've got Koeman, Musiala, Kane, Davies. It's going to be a tough ask, but hopefully we can put in a decent performance. Kane taking a free kick for them. We've headed it clear, only as far as Delic. Comes out to João Gomez on the edge of the box, and he's hit the woodwork. And Kane's lashed the rebound high and wide. We've got away with one there, I think. Scalvini with the free kick. Mason Mount. Forward to Garnacho. Swings a crossover. It's headed clear as far as Luke Shaw. He dinks across up. The keeper punches. And now they're breaking. And they've got like 4-on-2 there. Musiala squares it. Goretzka scores. And we've been done on the counter-attack. Defender stepped up to try and win it, and they've just poured forward. Once Shaw goes across, Musiala squares it, and Goretzka's got a simple finish past Onana to put them in front. Martinez at the back. Into Casemiro. Feel like we're going to get caught here, and then they're going to spring an attack on us. Mount into Fernandez. Thought he was giving the ball away there. Scalvini into Mount. Garnacho looking for Fernandez. Goes through to Rashford. Shaw actually gets on the end of it. Squares it. Julian Alvarez taps it in. And we've had the good fortune there a couple of times, like this ball from Garnacho. Fernandez and the defender miss it. Foyth and Rashford miss it. It eventually comes through to Shaw, who then gets to the byline, squares it, and Alvarez has a simple tap in to level it up. And there we are, 1-1. Probably actually looking at the match stats and everything, a pretty fair reflection of how the game's gone. We just got undone on that counter-attack. And then we got lucky with everyone missing the ball. As long as we can put in a similar performance in the second half, we should have a decent chance of at least coming away with a point. Right, we've made 2 changes. Down the left-hand side, we've taken off Shaw and brought on Antonio Silva and moved Martinez to left-back. And we've brought on Højlund, moved Alvarez wide left instead of Rashford. Again, there's very little happening in the second half. I think we've had a single shot, to be honest, looking at the match stat. Davies corner. Why did I open my mouth? That's got to be practically the last action of the game. The first highlight I think we've seen in the second half. How was the header past Onana? Oh. I mean, we didn't have a shot in the second half. There's still something not right with this setup that we've got. I mean, we were okay in the first half, but it's non-existent in the second half. Another episode comes to an end. Not the best. We certainly weren't outstanding throughout the whole episode, but signs of better performances coming. The players are slightly less angry at my management. And really, I mean, we lost the game against Liverpool, we lost the game against Bayern Munich. We lost by a goal in both games. Bayern Munich it's basically the last touch of the game, practically. We are still sitting 10th in the league, so we do need to pick up the league form, but we are only 3 points off third. Champions League, we've got 8 points from 5 games. Hopefully we should be able to at least make it into the knockout stages. Join us in the next episode to see if we can improve that league form and to see if we do qualify for the knockout stage of the Champions League. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.